All right, the watch list for Tuesday, November 3rd. Let's start with EROS. We've got a nice bounce in this one today. Made a couple calls in it. I never really caught the bulk of the move, but I had a couple decent little gainers in it. I still think it might continue. It's sitting right at a two-day high. And again, this thing was 33 bucks just a few weeks ago. So I want to look for a continued bounce there. NYMX. This one had a nice spike. Quiet red day, now a green day. You've got consecutive lower highs here. So if this breaks today's high tomorrow, 366, you have another potential catalyst of 374 and another potential catalyst of 393. So might just start to rip to the upside here if we get over 365 tomorrow. I want to watch that one. NQ, just to be clear, for whatever reason, I hate this stock. I've never really had a great feel for it. Having said that, it's a decent setup. You had this gap up back here late August on big volume, and it came down, and then now you've got a lower high, a little kind of a cup and handle forming here. So it's interesting over this area here, right? There's not a lot in the way for this to head higher, but one caveat, I hate this stock. So let's look at it on 60s here. Not that hard to see. So today's high was 409. The high back here was 408. So, maybe 411. This one might continue and maybe break out. It's not a bad price to put in your notes, 411-ish. And even then, it depends if and when it triggers. Like if it triggers in the first minute or two, those tend to fail. So there are always other factors. When I was a younger trader, I used to give zero weight to time of day, right? I would take a breakout on a daily chart right smack dab in the middle of lunch, and people would say you shouldn't trade during lunch, and I'd say that's ridiculous. It just didn't work, but it had nothing to do with the time of day. And over time, and the more you trade, the more you realize, the rule of 10,000 hours, the more you realize time of day means a whole lot. So as I told the people in chat today, I tend to take my biggest positions if I have a trade in the first 30 minutes, and you can kind of view it like a pyramid. After the first hour, my position size, if I find another trade, goes down, and then the next hour it goes down way more, and so on. So my biggest trades are generally in the first 30 minutes, and then if I'm going to trade after that, my position size gets smaller and smaller. All right, because that's when the odds get lower and lower, at least for a day trader trading my style. All right. So anyway, there's NQ, RTRX. Kind of a little pop above about 2 or 3 weeks worth of trading on a decent little volume spike today. So just looking for a potential red to green. If you go to 15-minute candles, you can kind of see it right out of the gate. It was strong, and then it did nothing during lunch, and then you got this massive volume spike, 150,000 shares in 15 minutes, and now you've got the high of the day, then you've got a lower high, and it's kind of just a little maybe flagging, if you will. So if you want to put a number in your notes, I like it over this afternoon spike, so that would be 2140. And as I'm saying this, I'm going to put that in my notes. 2140 would be one catalyst, and then 2162 would be a break of today's high. So there's another catalyst, so I'm writing that one down too. And then if you get over today's high, this one might just come up and retest this high from early October, which was 2279. So, I don't hate it. I'm going to have that one on watch. ELLI, potential bounce play if you get down below 65. It's done a pretty good job. 65 was kind of resistance right here, support here, flushed below it a little bit, but then right back up. So, the 200-day closer to 64. So if you get down below 65, I want to watch for an intraday turn. That's a big 2-day sell-off there. So that goes ELLI goes on bounce watch. SC goes on bounce watch. A third day down. Today was a more narrow range than the day before, which was more narrow than the day before that. And you do have some support over here on the chart now. So want to watch SC for a potential bounce play. EXAS, a very strange stock. It gapped up this day. We had a nice little gap play in it in the morning, and then it did this nasty reverse all the way down here. And, at that point, you're thinking, okay, this thing's done on the long side. And then lo and behold, literally 2 sessions later, you're taking out these highs. So believe me, that's weird action. Do I want to go long if and when it breaks today's high at 1017? Probably not, because it's just come from in 2 sessions, it's just come from 681. So it's extended, but it's also interesting if we can get maybe a red to green or something in it tomorrow. So it's a weird chart, but it might have some more upside in it with the proper setup. And then WPCS, nice little volume spike today. I actually played this and had my biggest trade of the day on the long side, believe it or not, on this. A lot of people look at this chart and say, oh, well, anyone that went long this morning got killed, but it's all a matter of timing. And, you know, I took it on basically a break of the 2-minute high. See, we spotted this as a gap play in the morning, and then it put in a nice narrow two-minute range. So I just called it in chat. I said this at 170. I think I said 170 or 171. Basically a 2-minute high break with a stop below 2-minute low. You're talking 170 entry and a 165 stop. Nice relative volume at the open, and look what happens. I mean, within 2 minutes, I made over 10% on my trade. So I didn't get rich on it, but it made enough. I got my daily goal and then some, and then had 3 other trades after that, and actually had a flat and a loss on 2 of those 3, and then the other one was EROS, which I actually had a couple trades, so I should say 4 other trades after that. Had a couple decent trades in EROS. So it's all about timing, and this one wouldn't have surprised me to see this get to $3, the way this thing can move at times. Now, sellers are jumping all over this. Sellers won here, sellers won here, sellers won here, but if you notice, it's not putting in lower lows at all. It's putting in a nice base. So if one of these days, and it may never happen, it may happen tomorrow, it may happen next week, one of these days it gets back up over 2, there's nothing in the way to really have this thing, and it's an extremely low float. So this is one I like to have on watch, and I want to make sure I have this on a chart on at least one of my monitors for the next couple weeks going forward. Now this day, on over 10 million shares, it had a huge move from $1.68 to $3.63. Percentage-wise, you know, that could be a month maker, right? It can make your whole month. And so it's interesting to me, even though the sellers are winning on all these pops, it is starting to get some really nice support. And you know, it may be as early as tomorrow. I'm going to have this one on watch. I made really nice money in it today. So we'll watch it again tomorrow. And keep this in your notes, because it gets very interesting over $2 any day in the near future. All right, so that's WPCS. All right, we'll be watching for gappers in the morning as well. And hopefully we'll find some nice gappers. And I didn't get any reversal plays today, although one of our members posted KSS this morning on a 5-minute buy setup, and it was just a great post. Look at this. KSS just straight down all morning, and look at the volume on this 5-minute candle. It was Philip from the chat room. And again, our chat room is set up in such a way that you can start to see who posts good ideas. You can add them to your hot script list, is what it's called, and set it up to give you an audible alert when anybody that you've put on that list posts. So it makes our chat room extremely customizable, and you can follow people that you know, on a regular basis post great ideas. And Philip got added to my hot script list because of that great alert today. Even though I didn't get KSS, I'd already have my money in the bank. But that's beautiful. The 5-minute buy setup would have been 44.70 with a 44.50 stop, and look at this. So there's your entry, there's your stop, and man, it went all the way up like $2 from there. What a great post by Philip on a very tight, low risk. So anyway, and we have those all the time. I could probably spend 20 minutes in every video talking about some of the great members' calls in there. All right, but I'll do you a favor, and I won't do that right now. All right, we will talk to you. I'll make another video tomorrow. Have a good night.